Hello, everybody, and welcome in to another episode here of the Fastball Sports Network. I'm Frank, joined by Mark. And Mark, we got a show of shows today. This might be our version of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of hype. That's a lot to deliver on, but I'm really excited. You came up with this idea that we're going to tier the superstars. I think it's going to be a good time.
Yeah. So for those of you watching along, what me and Mark are about to do is we decided to tier all of the WWE superstars, and what we mean by that is we're going to give them a ranking from 1 to 5. Simple, and just kind of see where they're at. I told Mark to include little arrows or asterisks if he thinks that person is about to rise or fall, or for any other reason he might want to speak about that person. But I'm very curious to see where we meet on some of this stuff, because I think a lot of our top stuff is going to be the same and a lot of our bottom stuff is going to be the same. I'm very curious about the stuff in the middle, though. I think that's where we're going to be very different. So just some notable things that we kept out. Brock Lesnar, in this list, he's a 5. You know what I mean? Every time he shows up, he's a threat to take the championship. He's a 5. It's not something we have to discuss. John Cena, he's a 5. It's not something we have to discuss. And if Ronda Rousey shows back up, she's a 5. Other people like Goldberg, we don't know if they're going to be wrestling again. They've been omitted from this list. This is only the superstars you see every week on Raw or SmackDown. Some of them might be injured currently. Some of them might not be wrestling because of other reasons. You can look behind me. But they're still on this list. The people that we expect to see weekly on SmackDown and Raw are pretty much on this list. So without further ado, Edge is the other one that we didn't put on this list. He's still a part-timer. He might be there a little bit more than Brock, but he's still a part-timer. And he's a 5. So we don't have to worry about that. Another thing, we tried to get everybody on the WWE roster. I'm pretty sure we did a good job. I don't think we left anybody out. But if you do find somebody that we left out, like, hey, like this person's a very big part of SmackDown or Raw, please comment below and let us know that we're idiots and we missed them or her.
That was the stressful part of it when I was making the list. I was like, I really don't want to miss anyone, but the list we're looking at, the list like Samoa Joe as a superstar, but he's on commentary now, and then there's like Kane.
Yeah, Samoa Joe's technically still a Raw superstar, even though he is on commentary. He's hurt. So, I mean, Kane was there. The Big Show, I don't know if he was on this list. So there's going to be a few things here and there where it might be like,
I only put the Big Show on, I think, out of those names we just said, because he's on TV currently.
I am pretty sure that we survived the cuts. Like, I don't think anyone that was cut is going to be on here, but there might be 1 or 2 guys. So if we do that, we're apologize. But there's no Rusevs, there's no Heath Slaters, although we did see Heath Slater Monday night on Raw. But yeah, those guys are pretty much off the lists. And then the last thing is we did not do NXT superstars. It would have been hard to rank them amongst WWE superstars. So maybe we'll do our own separate NXT thing. Probably won't be as long as this. But without further ado, let's explain the ranking system and get into it. And Mark, I actually want to add a different challenge onto this, or a different bunch of wackiness. I'm going to say the name, and then we're going to talk about it. I want 2 ratings. The first rating is the one that I told you to rate. And the second rating is I want their entrance, their entire entrance rated. You do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
We'll just say we'll say if we think up, down, or in the middle right now at the end of each guy.
Yeah. Yep. If they're on their way up, they're on their way down, or if we think they're pretty much just going to stay there. So, for example, we could start off with Big Show. Big Show's a guy that's pretty much right in the middle for me right now. And I would say that he's not really moving because he's old and, he just comes in when they need a big name to do something, and that's okay. He's putting in his time, and he's going to get ready to go to acting now. So that would be somebody that we would say would be in the middle or not moving. But
I put Big Show in tier 2, like right below the middle, because he's still a big name, and they bring him on to get some ratings and to draw some attention. But he doesn't really do much at this point. He kind of just comes in, and he's gonna work over Randy and give Randy another win at Extreme Rules. So he's just kind of there for enhancement at this point.
Yeah, I also put him at a 2. Before we jump into it, again, we did 1 through 5, with 5 being the best, a main eventer, a guy that you can count on every single week in, week out. A 1 being a jobber, literally a guy that maybe we don't even see on TV very often. I don't know. I'm very curious to see or to what your thought process was. Was it all about now, or did you try and encompass past, future, all that stuff into it?
I tried to put a little bit into like where I see them going, but at the same time, I kind of looked at it the way that I feel like the company looks at them, where guys that, for example, Aleister Black, I feel like should be a 2 or maybe a 1, but he's not because of the way he's being booked, or a 5 or a 4. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I think I did something very similar. Try to see where the company was, but also knowing that some of these guys have a chance to, the Angel Garzas, the Aleister Black, the younger guys have a chance to go up. But I guess without further ado, let's just hop into it. So you're going to see that it's not going to be a mystery. I'm going to be reading these names out in alphabetical order. We're technically going to start on the Raw roster just because that's the way that we had our lists done. So we'll go from Raw males to females, and then SmackDown males to females. And yeah, let's just jump into it. Let's do it. So first one would be Akeem. Akeem is a member of the Authors of Pain. Where'd you put Akeem?
I put AOP as one unit. I put them in tier 2 because, you know, there's obviously plans for them. People are always excited about them, and then they get hurt or something weird happens. I think the pairing with Seth worked, and then it kind of just went to crap when he got hurt. And tier 2.
So I put them in tier 3, and then put a little down arrow because if they don't return them to with Seth Rollins, I could definitely see them being irrelevant on their way back. But yeah, no, I pretty much agree with everything that you're saying.
Are they just kind of like good wrestlers? I feel like I haven't actually seen them wrestle.
That's a really good question. I like them from those limited stuff that I've seen. I think they do good work. Oops, I apologize. Had a little mishap there.
I thought you fell for a second.
Yeah, it all fell off. Anyway, but back to Akeem and Razor. They're good. They're definitely good. They're a good tag team. They're really great muscle for a guy like Seth Rollins. I think if they bring them back right to Seth Rollins, there's no reason to think that they can't pick up right where they left off. And I think that they left off as a 3, so that's why I had them as a 3. But I did put the little down arrow because, you know, if Seth Rollins isn't there. Authors of Pain theme song, what are you giving it?
Do I know it?
If you don't know it, then that's a 1 automatically.
All right, it's a 1. I can't think of AOP's theme song.
I'm going to give it a 2. I know when they're coming, so that's why I'll give it a 2.
Give me a little beat. Give me a little tune.
No. We're just going to move. We're just going to move on. All right. The next guy is Akira Tozawa, somebody that I forgot was on the roster until about 2 weeks ago. I gave him a 1. I think that
Akira Tozawa, the 24/7 champion.
No, he's not the 24/7 champion anymore.
Yeah, but he was like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. So that you're actually making my point for me. I gave Akira Tozawa a 1. I don't think that he has room to move up. Personally, it seems like he's just kind of a joke at this point, and I feel bad for him. But, you know, Akira Tozawa, you're a 1. I apologize.
I put him in a 2 because I feel like it was surprising that he didn't get cut when all the cuts happened because he was like one of those random guys who are just there. So they obviously like him. There's something there with him. And he got the 24/7 picture. He's doing some of the stuff with the Street Profits and the Ninjas. It's like they care about him at least a little bit. I went with tier 2.
All right. Moving on. Oh, Akira Tozawa's theme music.
Again, that's a 1. I don't know it.
I will also give it a 1 because I don't know it. Aleister Black.
So yeah, Aleister Black. I touched on it really quickly. He should probably be a main eventer right now. Like he probably should.
Or at least if he's not a 5, he should be a 4. I understand what you're saying.
I put him in 3 because he has just been in limbo, and he came up as his force from NXT, and he kind of just sat in like a broom closet and didn't really do much for a really long time. And he would fight jobbers, and he had like the program of Buddy Murphy that went nowhere, and now he's in all the Rey Mysterio drama that went nowhere. Someone had a really good point the other day when he came. Like Seth beat him up. He was supposed to be the tag partner. He like came out and Seth was like, hit me to disqualify me. Like let Ray win and let me pick the stipulation, whatever. And everyone was like, the old Aleister Black would have just taken his head off, not been like, oh, I'm a baby face. I can't punch you right now. I gotta look out for Rey Mysterio and Alberto. Like, who cares about them? Like, you're supposed to. I don't know. They've really done like not great with his character, and he's a 3, and hopefully on the way up. But he's kind of just sitting at 3 right now.
Yeah, I have Aleister Black at a 3 right now too. And I also have him on the way up. I think that once you're right, once he goes single and completely single, just worrying about himself and just like you said, kicking people's heads off, blah blah blah, that'll be the best thing for him. His theme song, I'm gonna give it a 4. Aleister Black theme song definitely makes me believe that the Aleister Black that we want is coming out. He also rises up too from the stage, so that's awesome. Aleister Black, you get a 4 for your theme song.
I'll agree.
Uh,
I'll agree with you with the 4.
Yeah. The next guy, Angel Garza. This is an interesting one. Now, before we even go off on our own rankings, we want to say that Vince, apparently, the rumor is, and like obviously, like I don't talk to Vince. I don't know if you talk to him.
Not yet.
No. Okay. Yeah. No. So neither of us have a direct line with Vince, but apparently Vince sees Angel Garza as the next Eddie Guerrero. And for the kids watching at home, if you never got to see Eddie Guerrero wrestle, that was a treat. So, and I think honestly, like I don't know if he's the next Eddie Guerrero, but from what I've seen from Angel Garza, I really liked. I think his gimmick is really funny. I think he's very charismatic and could definitely be a good character. And I also think he's really good in the ring. So I again put him at a 3, and again put the arrow up similar to Aleister Black.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you with the 3. It's obvious that they have big plans for him. He's a huge part of their future that they hope. I kind of want Zelina Vega. I feel like a couple of weeks ago I was like complimenting her and saying how great she was doing and elevating them. I feel like recently it's kind of been messy with like Andrade and Zelina, and now like Ric Flair is kind of involved with Randy, and I think there's too many moving parts with that. But no, I think you hit it on the head. He's a 3 on the way up, and I don't know his music either, so sorry.
I know his music. He's a 3. It's just good. It's just standard. It's good. It's perfect for him. It's nothing too catchy but yeah, that music's a 3 for me. All right. Now here's I think where the first time that me and you are going to disagree on something. And this is going to be Angelo Dawkins. And if you want to talk about the entire Street Profits, then that's fine. We'll just group them as the Street Profits, the tag team. So the Street Profits, I gave them a 4.
Okay.
And the reason I gave them the 4, and I said they are tag team champions, and they've been tag team champions for a while now. You know? So clearly something is going right there. And I also am very entertained by the Street Profits, but I'm guessing you gave them a 3.
You were right to guess that I gave them a 3. No, I mean, I know what you mean. Like, they've had the belts for a long time, but it's been like a silly thing the whole time where they've been doing this stuff with the Viking Raiders and the Ninjas and all this stuff, and they are fun, and their music's great. Their music's a 5, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Their music is a 5.
I don't know. It just doesn't. They're fine. They're a 3. They matter. They're important, but I don't know. I don't see them as that top. I know that the tag team champions, that doesn't really mean a whole lot nowadays. Right. So it's kind of just they're a 3 and probably on the way up.
Yeah, I just said, you know, they're tag team champions. Clearly, they're well liked, and I see them being able to do a lot more. So yeah, but I mean, like, they'll never go past the 4 as like the Street Profits. I just think that right now what they're doing is good enough to make them. I mean, they're on Raw every week, right? Yep. And a lot of the guys that we're going to talk about are not on Raw every week. Even I mean, Angel Garza has been lucky enough. Aleister Black has been lucky enough to be paired in like little feuds. But when the Street Profits do something, wacky or not, they are the main topic. Like, it is the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders. You know what I mean? Where Angel Garza and Aleister Black, I have them as 3s because I think that they're really talented superstars, but they have not been they're in charge of their own destiny, I should say. They've been kind of pinned to other people right now. So I think for that reason was one of the reasons why I gave the Street Profits the little bit of rub there. And I just like them personally. But we can move on from them. Apollo Crews. This is an interesting one to me.
He's tier 3. Listen, I get it. He's United States champion. Like, he's come a long way from irrelevance a couple months ago to the champion on TV every week, and he's doing the program with MVP now. But he's not in that top threshold yet. Hopefully he's on his way up, but 3 it is.
That's fair. I would say that Apollo Crews had the most meteoric rise of somebody that I never thought would be able to like break through that ceiling. I also have him as 3, and I don't even have him on the way up, but I'm hoping that he does. what the stuff that he's done with MVP has actually been very good. I did not think I would care about an MVP feud in 2020, but here we are, and MVP has been every bit as enticing and making you want to watch. He's done some of the best work on Raw, in my opinion, over the last months. When he latched himself to Bobby Lashley, it was great for Lashley, and it was great for MVP, and it's been great for us watching. So I really appreciate Apollo Crews, and I hope that he continues to grow. But he's a 3. Theme music is a 4.
Yeah, 4's good for his theme music.
He just got the new theme music, and he screams his name at the beginning, and I think it's fun and adds nice flair. All right, moving on. Austin Theory. I think we're giving out a lot of 3s today.
There's not much to say about Austin Theory. I have him as a 2. I mean, I know he's kind of like involved with Seth now. He wasn't there on Raw. He might have COVID. No one really knows. They don't really tell us anything. But he doesn't really stand out to me. He's kind of just a guy.
To me, Austin Theory's a 3 because he's attached to Seth Rollins, and that just makes you a 3. He wasn't on Raw the other day, but if he comes back and does the things that he usually does, you know, I think that's a 3. His theme song is a 2. I don't really have a lot to say on Austin Theory. It's kind of just like a wait and see with Austin Theory, I think.
There's a lot of those guys that I feel like we can just do real quick.
Yeah.
He's one of them.
So with that being said, that theme song, you got anything?
I don't know it.
No, okay. All right, so we will move on.
If you told me prior, I would have listened to some of these theme songs. But
no, I'm glad I told you like this because I didn't listen to them either. So it's just going off of what we know.
Right.
Bobby Lashley.
So you go. Sorry.
Bobby Lashley. I gave a 4 to Bobby Lashley. I think 2 months ago I would have given him a 3 or maybe even a 2. But right now, like I said, going back to MVP, just great stuff from Bobby Lashley. And I think that I'm getting to the point now where I believe that he's a main eventer, or at least he can be a main eventer at parts of the year. It doesn't have to be the Seth Rollins, John Cena, AJ Styles mold where he's in the main event every single pay-per-view. But I think that giving him this 4 means that he can be in the main event a few times a year, and I think he's earned it. I think he's done well.
Yeah, I have him as a 4 as well. I think that, like you touched on, putting him in MVP has really elevated him. And the feud he had with Drew was really good, too, where you always thought Drew was going to win, but in the back of your head, it was like, well, actually, he could potentially win this. And that's good when it establishes that credibility. And I think the plan is for him to eventually fight Brock, and now the credibility's back, where I actually care about it a little bit.
Yeah. I really don't think anything else has to be said about Lashley. He's just a great performer. And when they give him the right mouthpiece, he can be everything. He can be great. And we've seen that over the last 2 months. And I'm actually happy for Bobby Lashley because I think when he returned, I stopped caring very early on in that run. But now I'm actually excited to hear him, the things that he's doing with Apollo, the things that he's doing with McIntyre, MVP. He's done a really good job. So I'm actually happy for Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, do you remember his first thing with Sami Zayn and the sisters, the 3 sisters? It was like the worst thing. Yeah, they booked him terribly.
That was yeah. So I'm glad to see that he's getting that light. Theme song is like a 2.
It's just noise.
It's just noise. Yeah, it's just noise at the beginning and then like a regular steady guitar strum or whatever. Cedric Alexander. You want to take this one? This one hurts my heart a little bit.
I have him in tier 3, but it's like really on the bottom of tier 3. Like, he should probably be in 2, but he's really good and he's really fun to watch. But like, it seems like he's doing the program now. Like, he might join MVP's faction, so that could be cool. Like, he kind of went out and was like, Ricochet has all this attention. You're kind of just his sidekick, and he's like, I see what you're doing. But he also seemed like he was kind of like conflicted on the matter. So hopefully that goes somewhere. I have like right at the bottom of 3.
I hope for Cedric Alexander that he joins that stable because it looks like I said, MVP was able to elevate Bobby Lashley. I think he could do the same thing for Cedric Alexander. I currently have him as a 2, and if he doesn't join that stable, I think he's on his way down. I really do. They don't do anything with him ever, and that's really all I have to say about it. Music, that's a 5.
Yeah, it's good music for sure. I agree.
Good music. Cedric Alexander. All right. I think we have our first 5 of the day coming up. Drew McIntyre, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Do we even have to – we don't have to talk about Drew McIntyre, right?
Not really.
By the I was down on Drew McIntyre entering into WrestleMania, being the guy that beat Brock Lesnar. Drew McIntyre has shut me up and proved me wrong. He's been great. He's been every bit the champion. He's played the great babyface role. I didn't think he'd be a great babyface. He's played it well. He's a 5. I don't think there's any questions about it. Even after he loses the WWE Championship, he will remain a 5, Mark?
Yeah, he should still be at 5 as long as they don't just destroy him.
Yeah. So, yeah, we can just move on. Eric and Ivar. They are the Viking Raiders.
All right, you're going to have them in 3. I'm going to have them in 2.
You are right. I do have them in 3.
Do you want to talk? Do you want to start?
I mean, listen, again, they are consistently on Raw every single week, which is more than you can say about the rest of these guys. They're not the tag team champions, and that's why they got a 3 and the Street Profits got a 4 in my book. But I guess that's why they got a 2 and the Street Profits got a 3 in your book. So, but again, I think that consistency being on Raw every week is kind of understated, because there's a lot of these names where I don't see them on Raw every week. So
I think the biggest thing for me with them is, like, they were such a big deal in NXT. I didn't watch them a ton, but everyone talked about them so much, and they were so excited when they came up. And they immediately changed their name, and it kind of threw everyone off. They changed it twice. They were like the Viking Experience for a minute. Then they're like, this is terrible. Let's change it again. And they kind of became like a comedy thing where they used to be like these serious, like, killer guys. They were the Viking. They were the, I don't know, what were they? The Viking Raiders?
they were the War Raiders.
War Raiders. It was War. Yeah, exactly. And so they were like these, like, cold-blooded killers. Now they're like a comedy thing. I just think they're a good tag team, but they're too.
I don't think it's too late for them. I think that they do a lot of cool things in the ring. I don't think it's too late for them, but I do understand what you're saying, that they might be trending downwards as of right now. But yeah, I'm with you in that sort of range. The next guy, I think this guy's really interesting. Humberto Carrillo. I gave him a 3. Oh, Viking Raiders entrance music. It's a 2.
It's like a 3. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's just plain. It just suits them well, you know. Yeah. But back to Humberto. I have him as a 3. He might be a 2. But he's talented. There's no question that he's talented.
Yeah, I have him at 2. I just don't really care about him. I know, like, they started his push last year, and it didn't go anywhere. They kind of stopped, and now, like, he's kind of involved with the race stuff, but the race stuff's just dragging on and not helping anyone at this point. And
yeah,
it's a 2.
It's dragging on. That's a really good point. It's just dragging on at this point. We don't want to do it anymore. I will say Humberto's theme song is a 5. It's a 5 out of 5. It might be the best song on the roster.
It's like the Spanish music, right?
It is. No, it starts off English. And then I've never heard the full thing. So I've been looking for it on, like, iTunes or like YouTube, and it's nowhere. He had an old song that's on that stuff, but his new song has not been to at least this point. It is so catchy, and it's so, like, wow, this guy's so cool when he comes out. It's definitely a 5, his music.
Okay.
You'll take my word for it, all right?
I'll take your word for it, yep.
All right, the next guy I think is a super interesting topic too. That would be Jinder Mahal. Now, I have Jinder as a 2, but I have 2 arrows, one going up and one going down, because I thoroughly believe that if Drew McIntyre is still champion when Jinder Mahal is healthy, that they could absolutely put on a program and Jinder could return to that 3 and then be in the conversation for. He seems like a perfect heel to go against Apollo after, you know, that matchup against Jinder could be a 3 or a 4, you know. But right now he just hasn't done anything consistently for the last, like, year and a half, it feels like. So that's why I have him at a 2.
I have him as a 2 as well. I think if he was healthy, he would probably be a 3. I think he'd be, like, much more prominent on television right now. They had a plan to make him a babyface when he came back from the injury that he got hurt again. I don't think he could be a babyface. I don't really see any, like, sympathy there or any type of, like, fan relation. But no, I think you hit it. He's a 2, and he could go up, or if he stays hurt, he'll not come back.
Jinder Mahal's theme music?
We'll go with 4.
It's a 4. It's definitely a 4. It's like borderline 4 too. It might be a 5. I enjoy Jinder Mahal's theme music.
It's catchy.
I think that off the head. All right, next guy. I'm very curious to see who you have for this. Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens is tier 4.
I have him at tier 4 as well.
My tier 4 is small too. I think tier 5 I have like a good amount. Tier 4 is very small to me. Like that really
I
like
think I have a ton of 3s and 2s. I don't have a ton of 5s, but we'll get there.
and it hurts me that Kevin Owens is not tier 5, but the way he's been booked and he beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania and then he kind of went away a little bit. It might have been COVID related, it might have just been they didn't have anything to do with him, but he's really good and he's amazing on the mic. The KO show is great. He's a 4 and his music's a 5.
His music is a 5. As soon as he comes in, those guitar strums that play, that's perfect for him. You know exactly who's coming. The next guy, Buddy Murphy, and I have him as a 3 as well.
Yep, so do I.
I think I have him as a 3 for the same reason that I have Austin Theory as a 3. And that's really all I feel like that's really all that needs to be said about it. But
I put him as a 3 and Theory as a 2 because I wanted to specify that he's above Theory. Like the way
I understand what you're saying.
He's been with Seth this whole time, like throughout this whole thing. Like it's him.
Theme song?
I don't know.
All right, that's a 2 for me.
Okay.
All right, the next guy is gonna get 2 5s here, and that is the Viper, Randy Orton. We don't have to. This is like McIntyre. I feel like with these 5s, there's not really a lot to say.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. That's it. We'll just leave it there, right?
I think I might have one controversial 5. The rest is no argument really.
Okay. No, I'm excited to see. You know what I found, and we'll talk about this as we go on. I think I have more women as 5 than men as 5.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so it's not gonna be controversial because it's a girl. It's controversial. You're gonna
No, I have a lot of female 5s. I think they've done a really good job with the women's division, and it took me to write out this list to see it. But we're not even at the women yet, so we'll get back to that. But that's definitely something that I've seen. But yeah, Randy's a 5. His theme song is a 5, no question about it. So we could just move right on, and we'll go to Rey Mysterio. I have Rey as a 3.
So do I.
Okay. I wasn't sure if maybe you were going to give him a 4, but I know I have him as a 3, and I'm pretty sure that's just what he is at this point. He's not even under contract with WWE right now, so he's just doing all of this as like, I don't even know I guess he just signed like a 2-week or a 3-week contract.
Freelancing maybe? I don't really know the term.
He's freelancing, yeah. So Rey is what he is. I really don't think there's anything else that we have to say about that, right? He's not going to be...
I have him as the first name in tier 3, if that means anything. Like he's kind of like right on the cusp for me, but
yeah, that.
Like you said, he is what he is at this point.
The next guy, Ricochet. Ricochet. This one hurts my heart because Ricochet was so cool when he came up. He was like flying around and everyone was really excited. And then where did he go? He fought Brock Lesnar. Remember? He had a WWE Championship shot against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he low blowed Brock and let Drew Claymore him out of the Rumble. It was he mattered for a hot minute.
Yeah.
24 about him, the whole thing. I have him as a 3.
I have him as 2 right now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, I want him to be a 4, but right now I think he's a 2.
He really should be a 4.
Yeah, I think he could definitely be prominent, at least in the mid-card. All right, so here's the one name that I didn't remember was on the roster, and that would be Riddick Moss.
Riddick Moss. He was the 24/7 guy, right?
Yes. I forgot. He was jacked. I haven't seen him since he won the 24/7 championship.
He's got to be tier 1, right?
He's tier 1 for me.
Yeah, like he has to be.
Oh, Ricochet's music, that's a 3.
I don't like the little ping pong noise it makes in the beginning, like the ricochet noise. But it's going to be a 2 for me. I don't like it.
All right. Riddick Moss's theme song, I don't know it. So that's a 1 for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever heard it. I don't know if he's ever gotten an entrance.
Nothing for Riddick Moss. Nothing.
All right, let's move to R-Truth. R-Truth I have is a 3.
Yep, so do I.
And I think that most people in his position would never enter the 3 category, but R-Truth does what he does so well. He gets a 3. I was honestly thinking about giving him a 4 because, again, he's just one of those guys we see every week. But the 24/7 championship is not like the others, so I just gave him a 3. I think that's solid. His entrance music is a 4 because he sings it and it's different.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, I'm with you. 3 and 4. That works for R-Truth.
Another one, I'm sorry. First, Samoa Joe, the wrestler, not Samoa Joe, the announcer. Samoa Joe, the wrestler. I have him as a 3 right now.
But like, how can he be a 3 if he doesn't wrestle?
He never wrestles. That's the point. He should be a 5. Honestly, he should be a 5, but he's a 3 because he never wrestles.
Okay.
That's how I view it.
I don't even want to like put him in a category because I think he's just commentating now. I don't think he's going back to wrestling.
I think I always thought the plan was to return him back, but I don't know. That's just gonna have to be a wait and see thing. Entrance music though, a 4.
Yeah, that works.
All right, Seth freaking Rollins.
I mean, he's a 5, obviously.
He's a 5.
The thing is, his music's not a 5. I was about to say his music's a 5, obviously, because I thought Burn It Down.
His music is not a 5.
His music's a 2.
His music's a 3, a 2 or a 3. That's fair.
Same with everyone else. Same with Bailey and Corbin and everyone else with the music.
Yeah, the same music. Yeah, it's a 2. I think it's a 2 because his old music was so much better. But I think it fits his character, so that's why. Actually, I think it's a 3 because I think it fits his character really well.
Do you think he's still a universal 5? Like, obviously, we see him that way. Do you think everyone still sees him that way?
If you don't, you're crazy. If you don't see what Seth Rollins is capable of in the ring, if you don't see that he's been on Raw television as prominent as anybody else over the last 3 or 4 years, I mean, listen, just because he's not competing for the World Heavyweight Championship right now does not make him not a 5. There's a mid-card champion on another show that we'll get to soon, who is the best wrestler in the entire company right now. We'll talk about him a little bit later.
And his music's a 5.
What did you say?
And his music's a 5. Great music.
And his music is a 5 too. But yeah, Seth Rollins is a 5. I think you're crazy if you try and say otherwise. Maybe you don't like Seth Rollins personally, but you can't deny that he's been able to change his gimmick multiple times, face, heel. He's a great wrestler. That's really all that. I mean, that's a 5. There's no other questions.
Checks all the boxes.
And he's in his prime too. That's another thing that's important. He's a prime specimen right now, Seth Rollins. Next guy we don't have to talk about a lot, Titus O'Neil. That's a 1.
He's a 1, easy.
I do like the theme song though. I'll give it a 3. Making moves, making $1 million moves. All right, Dolph Ziggler. Another interesting one.
I think we're going to differ here. I have him as a 4.
I also have him as a 4.
All right, we're not going to differ here. You know, it's tough with him because he was my most underrated guy last week when we did this, and he's just so consistent. And he's not going to beat Drew at the horror show, but
I think he should win. This is my take. I think he should win that match at the horror show.
You think he has any chance?
Because no, I don't think he has a chance, but that doesn't mean I don't think that he should. I think he should win because we would not be expecting it, and I think that it would be a ton of fun and it'd be different. And let's face it, Raw's in need of a top heel in the worst freaking way. So,
yeah, no, I mean, I'd be in for it. I don't think that's it. I think they're going to wait for something bigger to take the belt off of Drew, but it kind of just like backed my point so well when I said how underrated he was and how you just throw him into any situation and he's like, it's instant credibility. Like, he's got a WWE Championship match. He was traded for AJ Styles. Like, he's that guy.
Yeah, no, he's great, and he deserves this championship match because he's such a great worker.
And he's here to show the world. It's a 5.
Yeah, and that's a 3 for me.
3, really?
Yeah, it's good. It's just not amazing, you know. Like, all right, and I think that's gonna round out the Raw men. This last guy right here, Robert Roode.
He's a 2.
He's a 2 for me as well.
Yeah.
He's just, what are they doing with him? That's my question.
He never mattered when he came up for NXT.
He could be a 3. He maybe even could have been a 4. That theme music was glorious.
Yes.
That's a 5, by the way, the entrance. But they just never did anything with him. So, yeah, unfortunate. All right. Let's head over to the ladies. I think we're going to do the ladies straight through. So we'll do Raw women, SmackDown women, and then we'll go back to the SmackDown men to close it. And we're going to start off Asuka.
5.
5. Music, 5.
Yeah, great music. 5.
Becky. Now, I know we said we weren't including part-timers. Becky's technically on a regular deal. She's not a part-timer. She showed up to Raw every day, but, you know, she's pregnant now, so she can't show up to Raw every day. I am not trying to predict what happens to her after she has a child, but I hope she comes back to somewhat prominent full-time role. And when she does, she will be a 5, 100%. She's the man. That's all there is to say. Music is a 5, right?
100%.
Any disagreement there?
No, 100%.
All right. This next one hurts my heart a little bit too. Bianca Belair. She goes here now, apparently. So,
Does she
does she? That's a really great question. What do you got for Bianca Belair?
She's tier 2. She should easily be 3, maybe 4, but she's 2. She showed up for a minute with the Street Profits, and we haven't seen her since.
I also have her in tier 2 for the exact same reasons, and I think her music's a 4. I think her music's a 4.
She has good music.
She bops on her way out there. She twirls her hair around. She does a really good job with the whole entrance. Yeah. Billy Kay.
The Iconics I have as a 2.
I also have the I'm sorry. I have the Iconics as a 3.
Okay. I mean,
I just think that they've just since they've gotten back, they've been prominent. They're funny. They always have the
lose though. They just go out and lose.
the good segments. They do lose a lot. That is true. But they're just like I said, like they're just on TV. So that's why I have them as a 3. Kari Sane. I have her as a 2.
I have her as a 2 as well.
And the reason why is I think Asuka is going to get a long run as championship, and I don't really know what the plan for her is. Apparently, she was going to leave the WWE, so she's a 2 and dropping, in my opinion. Not that she'll ever be a 1, but like she's just staying at a 2. Unless she re-signs with WWE and they decide to push her, that'll be a whole different story. But as of right now, I know that she doesn't have a contract, or she doesn't have a lot left on her contract.
That's why it was so weird to see her on Raw the other day. I feel like I'm always talking about how she's like gone, and then she just showed up. It was like
we'll see.
Fair.
We'll see what the future holds for her. Theme music.
She has good music. I'll give her 4.
4. I was gonna say 3. Yeah, it's around there. Lana.
Lana is 1, tier 1.
I gave her a 3.
That's aggressively high.
She's just a manager at this point in her career. I don't think she's wrestling. And again, she's been relevant like this whole time.
What was the last time she elevated something she was involved in?
I mean, I guess that's a good point. But again, somewhat of me is viewing her the way the company views her. You know what I mean? And they've had her in a lot of prominent roles. I don't know. Theme song's a 5 though.
What's her theme song?
It's like really fun and funky. It's good. It's good.
All right, sure.
You're gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
All right, Liv Morgan. I have her as a 2.
Morgan is tier 2.
If she pairs with Ruby Riott, they could be on their way up to 3s. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's really all there is to say. They don't really use her.
Liv Morgan should matter a lot more than she does.
Yeah, I agree with that. Natalya.
Tier 2.
I have her at 3.
That's fine.
I feel like she's just always like around, and every once in a while it's almost like the Big Show role, but she's around more, so that's why I gave her a 3. Theme song is just a rip off of Brett's. I'll give it a 2.
What was it? What did you say?
Just a rip off of Brett.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a 1.
All right, Nia Jax, I gave a 4.
You put her in tier 4.
Tier 4, yeah.
I put her in tier 1.
Nia Jax?
Yeah.
But like, why?
Because she hurts everyone she's with.
Okay. So I guess that's where we differ in terms of like I was just seeing this and like how like prominent like what are the odds to win a championship? Like what are the odds to be prominent on TV every week? And that's why I gave her a 4.
She can't really talk. She doesn't cut good promos. She doesn't have good matches, and she has hurt like every girl she's worked with. So it's an easy 1.
I think that's a little hard. Theme song though, it's a 4.
3.
It's a 4. She's not like most girls.
She's not. She hurts everyone.
Peyton Royce.
Yeah, I have the Iconics in 2.
The Iconics together. We did that. Ruby Riott. I think she's the same thing as Liv Morgan right now. She should be more prominent than she is, right?
She's 2, maybe 3. We'll see how it goes.
Music's like a 2.
Yeah, that's fine.
Shayna Baszler. Interesting Shayna Baszler.
She's a 2. Like
Wow.
she should probably be like a 4, but she's a 2, dude.
I have her as a 4 and dropping because so this is the way I saw it. They haven't done anything to really, really hurt her. Like in her the last time we saw her, she killed Natty. Like she killed her. Like that was the last we saw of Shayna Baszler. So to a certain extent, she was still like this dominant being.
What has she
So that's why
actually done
well,
since
in
she came up from
NXT.
NXT?
Well, I mean, it was just one long feud with Becky, and then WrestleMania happened, and she went away. So I don't know. I have her as a 4 and dropping as of right now, but there's no reason to believe that she can't be a 5 somewhere down the line. I don't really know. Again, it's just she hasn't been up for enough. I think we have to wait and see with her.
She's older, and Vince has already soured on her. Like I just don't see it.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens with her, and her music is like a 2. I don't really care.
Yeah, sure.
Zelina Vega. I gave her a 3.
Yes, I have Zelina as a 3 as well.
But I, again, in the same role as Lana, where I'm like, she's more of a manager than she is a wrestler. So I don't know. If this was strictly based off of wrestling, I might have given her a 2 or a 1.
She can wrestle a little bit.
She can. She doesn't. So that's like a big thing about it, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the last woman, who I guess technically is still on the Raw roster, the Queen, Charlotte Flair. It's a 5.
5, easy.
There's no question about it. And the music to me is like I think it's a 3.
I don't like Charlotte.
Hers is a ripoff of Rick's, but it's like cooler. I don't know. It's like not the same as Natty. So yeah, I gave the music a 3. All right. We will throw out the Raw list, and we will head over to SmackDown, and we will start ladies first in the women's division, and we will start with Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss. I gave her a 5. The music's a 5. I don't think there's any questions here. She is the best promo on SmackDown, the best female promo. She's probably one of the best promos in the WWE, male or female. I don't know how you feel about that, but
so she was my controversial one where I wasn't sure if you were going to have her in 4 or not.
No, I think she's a 5. I think she got some unfortunate injury luck, but even through the injuries, like they still tried to keep her on TV doing things. I think that says a lot about her. And I think every time she's held the title, she's elevated the women's championship, and she's put in time to do really great feuds. She's great when she's making jokes. She's great when she's making fun of people. She's great when she's a face. She's great when she's a heel. She's just great. I think she's a 5. I think the entrance suits her perfectly. It's a 5.
She's already been a 6-time champion, too.
Yeah, and she's deservingly so. She's been great. Next one, Bayley. I don't think there's any questions here. That's another 5, right?
Yeah, easy 5.
Especially, I think maybe before this last title run, I might have given her a 4, but she's proven otherwise.
Her face music was a 5. Her heel music is a 2.
Her face music was a 5. Her heel music is 2. Yeah, that's fair. Carmella.
I'm going to go 3.
Okay. But yeah, we're pretty much on the same. She could be a 4, easy. She has been. She's been women's champion. She has been a 4. She just hasn't been featured. It's just one of those things where she's like a flavor, and right now she's not the flavor of the month type of thing. But she at some point in time can be a 4, and also the music's a 4. You know when she's coming. I don't necessarily like listen to this one as like a jingle or anything like that, but like I think it just suits her so perfectly. She does the moonwalk onto the stage and everything, so I think it's a 4. Ember Moon, and this one hurts the heart too in different ways because Ember Moon just keeps having to get surgeries, and she keeps trying to avoid having surgery, and it's just really been an unfortunate situation with Ember Moon, where I think if she was wrestling, she could be a 5, 100%. Like if she was but she's hurt, and we never really got to see her full capability, at least on the main roster. So right now I have her as a 3, possibly dropping if she doesn't return soon. Again, I feel bad that she's always injured.
I have her as a 2. I probably would have had her as a 4 if she was healthy, but I don't know. She said that it could be like career ending, so we don't really know where she stands. But yeah, 2 is fine.
Lacey Evans.
I have her in tier 4.
Really?
Yes.
I have her in tier 3 right now, but rising. So I think we're on the same wavelength here.
She's the only girl I have in tier 4.
I actually do not have. Did I have any of the last ones in tier 4? I did. I had Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler in tier 4, which you both had. You had tier 1. No,
Lacey's like 200% going to be champion. It just matter
I
when.
hope you're right. It feels like they've kind of booked her wrong. But even in the wrong booking, she's been great. So that's why I gave her a 3.
It's so hard because right now, like the whole entire focal point of both shows is Bayley and Sasha, really. And with all that being said, what could she really do? She had like a little program with Sonya Deville that was kind of interesting, but there's no belt or anything like to fight over. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yep. Next one, Mandy.
Mandy's a 3.
Mandy, I also have as a 3. I think, again, someone that could definitely make a women's championship run. Mandy's like really strong, and we've seen it on display a few times. We don't really know how great she is in the ring. I feel like they don't really give her a lot of time. I feel like they kind of rushed her up. They wanted her on the main roster. She's done some great stuff with Otis in terms of making us laugh, at least. But yeah, I think Mandy could absolutely be a women's champion one day. SmackDown or Raw, be prominent in storylines. I don't know how you feel about that.
How much they've invested in her.
Mandy's theme is like a 3.
Like
you know exactly who's coming.
She says her name and then like some weird music behind it.
Next one, Naomi.
Naomi's a 2.
I have Naomi as a 3 right now.
She should be, but she's not ever there.
But I understand. They're just not using her. They don't ever they haven't used her in like quite some time. Sasha Banks, this is a 5. She's been in so many championship feuds. She went away for a little while. I guess she had her own things that she had to sort out, but she's back now, and I think she's been good back. She's got the tag team championship. She's got a match coming up against Asuka, the Raw Women's Championship. She's a 5. Music's a 5.
Yep.
Naomi's music also a 4.
Yeah, she has good music.
She gets you pretty hyped. Sonya Deville.
She's a 3.
I have her as a 3 as well. I think she's been very prominent on television these last few months, which is good. Again, another a younger person, someone that is relatively new.
I feel like she's really opened some eyes. Like we didn't really think of her as much more than the girl to Mandy, I feel like. But no, she can talk, she can do other stuff, and she's pretty good in the ring.
Yeah, she's got a good promo, and she's obviously a good wrestler. That was always her strong point. And the last female on the roster would be Tamina Snuka. I have her as 2. Again, same thing with like that big show role. Music's a 3. It suits her well.
Yeah, I have her as a 2 as well.
Yeah. All right. And so that'll wrap up the SmackDown women. And so now we get to the SmackDown men. And because I've been going in alphabetical order, we will have our first 5 in the SmackDown men right off the bat. And that would be AJ Styles.
It's the easiest of 5.
Is AJ Styles the best wrestler in the WWE right now, Mark?
I'm a
whole package. When I'm asking this, whole package. Is he the best in-ring competitor? Does he do the best work on the mic? Does he have the best entrance? Does he have the most charisma? Is he the best wrestler in the WWE?
I think he just narrowly beats out Seth for me.
I think that in terms of just everything that he does, he's the best. And I think that the difference between AJ and Seth is AJ plays the babyface much better than Seth does.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that when AJ has been face, I've loved him. And when AJ has been heel, I've loved him. Whereas when Seth has been face with the Shield, we all loved it. But when Seth has been face by himself, he's had a little bit of a harder time making believe that like he's like this big time baby face.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins plays an incredible heel, though. I'll never take that away from him. All right, next guy, Big E. I know we've been doing tag teams generally together, but for the SmackDown tag team, Cesaro and Shinsuke, we're gonna split them up. Big E, Kofi, and Woods, who is still a wrestler, just recovering from a very tough injury to recover from. So we'll start with Big E. I gave Big E a 4.
Yeah, I give him a 4 as well.
He's so prominent on WWE television for the better part of the last 5 years. He deserves it. You know, I mean, he's got that rep. You could put him in a match, and it doesn't feel like it's a drop off from any of the huge or that big of a drop off from any of the huge names.
I have him as a 4 as well. I think it was an easy 4.
And then the New Day music. It's like a 3.
It's a 4.
It's fun. It's a 3 for me, but I understand why you're giving it a 4. All right, the next guy I didn't know still wrestled or was, Bo Dallas.
1.
1.
What was the last time we saw him?
That's a really great question. So we'll just move right on from there. You got anything to say about Bo Dallas' music?
Believe? No.
I actually really enjoyed when Bo Dallas used to come in, like early on. He used to like stick his fist up in the air and run around the entire ring. And then he was in that stable. What stable was he in?
With Adam Rose and
yeah,
the Misfits, the something Misfits.
I don't know if that's right, but they were hysterical when they used to get in the train, stick their fists up, and run around the air.
No, so that, I can look it up now.
That's my prominent Bo Dallas memory. All right, next one, Braun Strowman.
He's a 5. He's the champ.
5 champ. I agree.
His music. Outcasts.
The Social Outcast. That's right. They were great. Excellent. Braun Strowman's music.
It's a 2.
To me, it's a 3. I love the train thing that they did at the beginning. I know you hate that, but I see Braun Strowman as the train, and if you don't want to get hit by it, you got to get off the tracks. I love what they did. Like
the yelling your name before you enter thing. I think it works for Braun, but I don't like that the Powell has it. I don't like the Mandy has it. It's just like
I love Mandy's.
Braun is a train, so it works kind of where it's like he's yelling his name and he's like stomps out there, but like I don't know. It's corny.
You know who's coming. All right, next guy, interesting guy. Very curious to see where you have him. Cesaro.
I have Cesaro in 3.
I also have Cesaro in 3, but I gave it a little up arrow. It seems like they've once again started using him. I remember when he was in the tag team with Sheamus. They did some great work together. Cesaro's always been capable of putting on a great match. It's just the right mouthpiece to stick him with, the right promo to stick him with. I think that he could certainly be a 4 sometimes, but right now I think he's a 3.
I'm pretty sure they're going to take the belts off the New Day, him and Nakamura.
It might be time. The New Day have held them for a while. They don't need them. So that would be cool. Nakamura getting another belt. Nakamura, it feels like Nakamura has really had every belt but the main card belts.
Yeah.
Right? US, IC.
It's like the kind of guy he is, though. He's like an upper mid-carder.
Yeah. Another guy I didn't know was still wrestling, Curtis Axel.
He's a 1?
He's a 1.
Yeah.
All right. Next guy, Daniel Bryan.
He's a 5.
5. Yeah. SmackDown's making it real easy on us.
SmackDown's so much better than Raw.
SmackDown has a lot more talent than Raw. There's no question about it. Next guy, interesting, Drew Gulak.
I have him as a 3 on the way up.
I have him as a 3 on the way up, too. Yeah. DB's music?
5.
It's a 5. It's a 5. Drew Gulak's music?
I don't know it.
It's a 2.
Okay.
It's not great. All right, Elias.
He's a 3.
I have him as a 2 right now.
Okay.
I can't remember the last match like he's actually wrestled.
He had a program with Corbin.
At WrestleMania?
At Mania. He got hurt.
To me, he's always hurt, and that hurts him a lot. I think they had really high hopes for him, but I don't think they've come into fruition yet. I don't know if they ever will, honestly. Elias's music.
How does it go?
All right, so if we're...
Oh, it's guitar string, right? Then he comes in.
So if we're counting the stuff that he does in the beginning, where he insults the crowd or insults his opponent, depending on if he's a face or a heel,
5.
5. But if we're not counting it, then just the regular music that plays like after he wins a match, it's like a 3.
What is this, like a rock song? I can't even think of this.
Yeah, it's just like a drifter song, like guitar drifting. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next guy. Oh, another 5. We got another 5 on SmackDown. That would be Elias.
What do you say?
I'm sorry. That would be the Fiend.
All right, yeah.
You paying attention over there? Because I completely am not. The Fiend.
That's an easy
We
5.
say anything about how great Bray Wyatt is?
The thing is, like, we do this a year ago, or a little more than a year ago. He's probably like a 3.
No, he's probably a 4. I don't think Bray Wyatt
Really
in his
much for a while.
existence. I don't think in his existence in the WWE, even at his lowest of times, he ever was less than a 4.
It was a long run before the Firefly Funhouse that he did nothing. Like, he was just sitting around, like, not really involved.
Yeah, I guess.
And he was like one of the main guys.
To me, it's like one of those things with like Shayna Baszler, where I said like even that he wasn't like prominent on TV, they didn't hurt him enough to me. Like they didn't hurt his character enough to me for him to be like anything less than a 4. But I understand what you're saying. The music.
The Bray Wyatt music, the SWAT music was probably like a 4.
I love the Bray Wyatt music. Then they remixed it to be like really strange.
Like the scary music. That's probably like a 2 or a 1.
Yeah.
But his music shouldn't be good. You shouldn't want to like rock out to the Fiend's music.
No, but I think like the other one just suited him so much better, like the original one. But I don't know. Grand Metalik.
I put all of Lucha House Party in tier 2.
I put all of Lucha House Party in tier 1.
Okay.
I don't think that they have a chance to win the belts. They'll do this. They'll show up on TV every once in a while, but
I feel like they're on TV like a decent amount. Like I think they're always in like a 6-man tag or something.
They'll be on for like a month and a half, and then they'll go away for 6 months, and then they'll be back on for like a month and a half. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kalisto, Grand Metalik. Is Kalisto even part of the Lucha House Party anymore?
I think so.
All right. I really don't know, so that's why I was asking.
And Lindsay Dorado's the 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Sticking with my theme of 1s, Jackson Riker.
Yeah, all Forgotten Sons. They're all 1. Yep.
They're 1.
I don't have anything
the
to
one
say.
man did it to himself. I think it was Riker, right? I think Riker was the one who did it.
Probably, yeah.
I think it was him. The Lucha House Party theme song?
It's actually not bad.
Lucha.
Give it 3.
Oh, give it a 3. All right, that works for me. The Forgotten Sons theme song?
I don't know it.
I don't know it either. And I don't think we ever will. Jeff Hardy.
Jeff is tier 4.
I have him as 4 as well.
All right, he's still that guy. He's still awesome. He's not a 5 because he's not involved with the main picture, but he'll always matter. He'll always be a big deal.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I just want to point out that we are now we are about to enter M, which is the halfway point of the alphabet. We're not on the halfway point of the roster. We already have 4 5s on SmackDown. We had 3 total 5s on Raw. And we've given out a bunch of 4s too.
And Raw's an hour longer, so think about that.
Yeah. Jimmy and Jay, the Usos.
Tier 3.
I gave them 4s.
Okay.
I think they're just that tag team. I mean, you want to talk about longevity? They've been around for 10 years now.
They get hurt a lot too, though.
They do. They do get hurt a lot too. But I think that there's like a thing where like when you get hurt a lot, if you have a big enough name, then injuries don't necessarily hurt you as much as they hurt other people. I think that they were around enough prominently in the beginning, and even when they changed their Uso penitentiary phase, again, they were enough around where it's like, all right, everyone knows who the Usos are. Like when they get back, they're going to be important in the you know what I mean? Like when they get healthy. I like what they did the other day. And by the other day, I mean like last month when whichever one wasn't hurt was like, oh, like, hey, listen, he might be hurt, but I'm still here. I want to be in this battle royal. And he was in the battle royal.
We'll say it was Jay.
Jay was hurt, or Jay was the one in it?
We'll say he was the one who wanted the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool, and I'd like to see, them maybe do something like that, or him do something like that, but we'll see. John Morrison.
I have John Morrison tier 4.
I have him tier 4 as well. He could be tier 5. He's got the talent.
If they take him seriously and put him in a title picture, he definitely could be tier 5.
I don't want. I feel like by saying like Morrison, is tier 4, but he could be a tier 5. That doesn't necessarily mean I think that the Miz is holding him back. I don't think the Miz is bad for Morrison at all. I think that if they split, that he could do better, but he could also do worse if he wasn't with the Miz too. So
I fear that 4 might be Morrison's ceiling just because of how viewed.
I agree with that. Kalisto. You know what? Actually, we did the Lucha House Party. We'll just skip that. I have Kane with a question mark here, but he's a mayor of Knoxville County, so we're just going to ignore it.
Yeah, no need.
King Corbin.
He's a 3 for me.
Really?
Yes.
I know you just like him, but I feel like he's a 4.
I'm not going to argue that. I think I don't love his work. I think for a long time it was get off my screen heat, not good heel heat, and now he's kind of been – he's not really as prominent, I feel like. He's not like shoved down your throats as much as he was at one point.
I just like the nuclear heat that he's been able to acquire for himself, and he's just run with it. And honestly, I think I give him a lot of credit because I feel like it would take a lot. It takes a lot out of you just being hated by every single person in every arena that you go to every night. But he plays the part well, and like you said, he's not as prominent, but he's still very prominent. Like, he's still there making his jokes. Like, he's also like obnoxious, like childish Shield that would like make a joke and like laugh at it like himself. And like, I just think he plays his roles so well. And I know you're gonna kill me for this, but he absolutely is like a Kane or a Big Show. Like, he's the modern day version of one of those guys, and he deserves a championship run at some point in time. It doesn't have to be right now, but he definitely deserves a little bit of a championship run because I think he's earned it. I think he's earned it as a worker.
He'll probably get one at some point.
You don't like the bald head?
No, I see he'll probably get one at some point. He's really attractive. Vince loves him.
Vince loves him. Vince loves the way he looks.
I mean, he's what he is.
I agree with that. He definitely is what he is. All right, moving on.
One more thing about Corbin. Do you remember when like the ratings were awful, like a couple of years ago on Raw, and he was like the GM or whatever, and then they had like Vince, Shane, Triple H, and Stephanie come out to the ring and like blame him for like everything wrong with the show, and like
that was the end. That was the end of Constable Corbin.
I know, but it was just so funny how like it was obviously Vince's fault and like that group of people's fault, but they're like, no, this is all on you, and like they had like the fans believe that. I was like, this is ridiculous.
It's like, oh wow, you're right. It is King Corbin.
It's like, come on, guys, take some responsibility.
Oh, we haven't been doing music. Jeff Hardy's music.
Well, it's really good. It's a 4 or 5.
It's a 5.
Yeah.
It's a 5 because you hear that music and it's the nostalgia. And then if he goes to No More Words, that'll be a 5 too. But
5, yeah.
I think they're trying to break him and then bring him back in the No More Words because he has openly said that they have the rights to the song and that he wants to come out to it. So I think they're trying to like really break him, not like broken Matt Hardy, but like break him as in like get him to his lowest like on television and then build him back up. So I think that he will come out to No More Words again.
That'd be cool.
Jimmy and Jay, the Usos.
We said.
I think it's a 3.
I thought you had him in 4. We did the Usos.
No. We're just talking about theme music.
Oh, their music.
I'm just backtracking on music right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it 4. I like the music.
4. Yeah. Down since day one ish. Morrison. That's a 5.
It's a 4.
4?
Yeah.
No, that's a 5.
No, listen. Open your mouth. It's a 4.
King Corbin. It's a 2.
2. 2, yeah.
And all right, that leaves us to Kofi Kingston, who I have as a 4.
SOS or New Day?
No. We're back to wrestling.
We're back to wrestling. Okay.
Back to wrestling. 4.
He's 4. Yep.
And then we gave E the 4 for the music, or the 3 for the music, so he gets the same.
SOS for the
But
5. SOS is awesome.
that was good. That was really good for him. But Kofi, he could be a 5. He has been a 5.
Yeah, well, he was the champion last year.
When he was a champ, he was 5. So if they put him in if they gave him another title run, I don't necessarily know if that's a plan that they have for him.
I don't think so. I think it was a one and
But
done.
he should definitely be like a United States champion, or like I imagine an AJ Styles, Kofi Kingston. I'm sure we saw it when Kofi was champion the first time. But AJ Styles, Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship, I would be all about that. I don't know about you.
That'd be good.
Would be a really great match. All right, here's a name you haven't heard in a little while. Lars Sullivan. Technically still a part of the SmackDown roster, hasn't been cut. We haven't heard that he's gone in any.
He was released. He had so much stuff going on around him.
I'm really surprised he hasn't been released.
I mean, they had big plans for him. He was supposed to work Cena at Mania, and then he had some anxiety problems that didn't happen. Then he got hurt, and he's been off TV for it's got to be over a year now.
Yeah.
So he's a 1.
He's a 1 for me as well. But I have the arrow up. I guess if they commit to him again, if this stuff goes away.
I haven't heard his name in I don't know how long.
Neither have I. It's going to be very interesting to see if he ever comes back, and if he does, what it's like. All right. Lars Sullivan's music, though, will creep me the hell out.
I don't remember it.
It was like someone screaming at the beginning. So it's like at least a 3 just because it's so effective. All right, bro. Let's move on. Matt Riddle.
Such a good transition.
Thank you.
He's a 3 with a big arrow up.
I also have him as a 3 with a big arrow up. I think that it's unfortunate that.
Did you see his tweet today?
No.
So he came out talking about like all the allegations against him. It was like a 2-minute video. He like confessed to having an affair on it with his wife with this girl. But then when he broke it off, she like didn't take it well and went crazy with the whole thing. And it seemed like he was the victim in the situation, but we still don't really know.
Listen, I am happy because I did like him, and I was actually excited for him to get to SmackDown. I thought that would be a big pick me up. And then I heard all this stuff about him, and I honestly like didn't even watch SmackDown that week because I was like so upset because I was just like I want to like him. Yeah. I hope that what he's saying is the truth. If there's a lawsuit or something like that, I hope that we get to hear like all the facts or something like that. But just as a wrestler right now, I do like him a lot. I think he's very talented, and I think he can work some great matches, especially on this loaded SmackDown roster. He's got a list of people to pick from. So if what he's saying is true, then I'm sorry that I ever doubted him or felt poorly towards him because especially if he was the victim. But like I said, you just don't really know who's telling the truth, and I hope that comes out soon. But man, Matt Riddle I have as a 3. I think he's going to be a phenomenal superstar in the WWE. I think the fans really get behind him. The music is perfect for him. When all the fans are chanting,
bro, a young Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I mean, like you could kind of see it. I think he's a little bit
with the hair and everything. Yeah.
Built than Shawn Michaels, but we'll see. I'd like to see him start jumping around the ring and stuff like that, but we'll see. High hopes for Matt Riddle. It's hard. It's also hard with Riddle because he's been on the roster for 3 weeks. He's been on the main roster for 3 weeks, so this one's really hard. But that's why I think 3 is a good rating for him. Music? What did you give his music?
3.
You like when the crowd starts chanting, bro?
All 7 of them? Yeah, it's sick.
All right. The Miz.
This is a 4.
The Miz I have as a 4 too. I was debating giving The Miz a 5 because he has his literal own TV show. But I was just like, in terms of wrestling, he's a 4. I don't think a lot has to be said about The Miz. If you don't agree with us here, or you have him any lower than a 4, I don't want to hear it,
You're wrong.
You're wrong. Because then, listen, you might not love him in the ring, but he is one of the better promos in the entire company. He's a talent. The Miz is a talent, and he's someone that they've marketed around, and they've marketed around for years. So, Miz. Music? What do you got?
5.
I think I'm going to give it a 4, but I like it. You know, he came to play. We came to play today. All right. This next one is going to be hysterical. The jokes that are about to be made. I'm going to let you take it away because I know you like ripping on this guy more than I do. That would be Mojo Raleigh.
He's a 1. Like, it's not even what does he do? What does he bring to the table? He shows up for the first time, and I don't even know how long, and he's talking noise to Shorty G, how he's small, and he's like a high school, like a playground bully. Like, that's like his gimmick. It's like really stupid, and he's not good. He would have been cut if it wasn't for Gronk, like 200%. Like, there's no question about it.
You know what? I don't have confidence in him in the next round of cuts because everyone said that Gronk sucked when they all hated Gronk. So now, if there's no chance of bringing Gronk back to the WWE, Mojo Raleigh definitely days feel like they're numbered.
Like, it's so like sad how like political it is, because the fact that like guys like Zack Ryder and others were cut and he wasn't is strictly because of Gronk, and
right.
He's nothing. He's a 1.
Mufasa Ali. Oh, Mojo's theme song.
What is it?
I don't know.
So it's a 1.
The 1. Mufasa Ali, who might now be on Raw. It's unclear.
I have him as a 2.
I have him as a 2, but he could be a 1, honestly.
He's really good, but
he was prominent for a minute, but like he was
feeling a SmackDown hacker, but now they kind of just dropped that whole story. So
SmackDown hacker even exists? Who even knows? All right, we're coming to another 5. Roman, the big dog, Roman Reigns. I can't imagine you giving him a 4, but I'll let you speak for yourself here.
No, he's a 5. It's his yard, the whole 9. Hopefully he's back soon.
Yeah. Listen, Roman Reigns has become this symbol of a guy that's worked very hard. I feel like a lot of the fans think that he is just given everything that he's given.
He's gotten a lot better over the years.
But he has worked to get better. He has worked to get better and maintain that main event status.
On the mic, in the ring, the whole thing.
Everything. So Roman absolutely deserves a 5. And you know what? I'll tell you what. Roman Reigns is one of the younger guys on the roster that does not need a belt to make him like a big deal. Like if Roman Reigns is wrestling at SummerSlam, that's going to be a big deal for whoever is in that match with Roman Reigns. Yep. He has a big fight feel where it's honestly a bigger fight feel than AJ Styles at this point, I honestly believe. Like when you see Roman Reigns' name on the card, it does depend on the opponent, but I would say out of all of these guys that we're talking about, Roman Reigns is the biggest name on this list in terms of just like marketing something now. And it's part because WWE has made it that way, and I think it's part because of some of the stuff that's happened to him. The leukemia kept him out for so long. The kid, now he just had 2 newborn twins that is now keeping him out because of COVID. So I think Roman just is a bigger fight. He's not old enough to be stale, and he's not around enough to be stale. So he's just a big fight, I think, when he's on the card. And I think his first match back is going to be a big deal. His first pay-per-view match back, I should say.
And they gave him the Shields music, so it's a 5.
Yeah, and it's a 5. All right. I know we're going to disagree on this next person, and that would be Otis. Give me what you got for Otis.
I don't think we'll disagree.
What do you got?
I have him as a 3 strictly because he has the briefcase on his body.
See, I have him as a 4. The reason why I have him as a 4 is because he literally has a ticket to be the next Universal Champion.
Has he even been on the show? Like, where is he?
He's teased it a few times. I don't know if he's been since the last pay-per-view he's teased it, but he's still there doing his wacky Otis stuff and the stuff with Mandy, and it's funny. But he literally has a ticket to be the next WWE Universal Champion. So to me, that's what pushed him over the edge to be the 4. And you look at this roster up and down, and we say how stacked it is, and he's going to be the champion of this roster. You know what I mean? So if they actually go through with him cashing in,
there's no scenario. I don't think there's any shot he gets the belt. I think he's either going to.
I think he's going to get it.
I think cash in and lose, or lose the briefcase to someone else.
I think he's gonna win it. I think he's gonna cash in and win the belt. And I think that Mark is gonna go crazy in that night. Music?
2.
It's a 2. Yeah, it's a 2. That's fair. All right. Another controversial topic. Sami Zayn.
3.
I have him as a 3 as well.
I mean, he could be a 4 if he didn't leave with the Corona stuff, but he's a 3.
Yeah, I think he should be a 4. He's currently a 3. When he gets back, he might honestly just take that jump to a 4. He's a great wrestler. He seems like a pretty decent person, too, from the things that we hear about him outside of the ring. So I like Sami Zayn a lot. I really, 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 really wish he would go back to being a face. I'm not in love with heel Sami Zayn. I think he was a better face. But that being said, he hasn't been bad as a heel. I just think he's just a much better face.
Yeah, that's fine.
What do you think about his music?
4.
I give it a 4 too. Kind of want to give it a 5. I do love Sami Zayn.
So you love his music. Just give it a 5.
I do. I think it's a 5. Sheamus.
3.
I gave him a 4.
He's fringe. I don't hate it.
He's a big deal.
Is he though? Is he still a big deal in the year?
He is. He's still a big deal. He's still you could tell that listen, he's doing a thing with Jeff Hardy right now, who's a 4. You know what I mean? So like he's a big deal. But I get why you gave him a 3 for sure. I think if he had any championship right now, he's a definite 4, but since he doesn't have a title, he's just 3 right now. But yeah, I think that's a guy that just when he's got a title, he's a 4. When he's got a world title, he could even be a 5 because he's talented for sure. Yeah. Music?
3.
I loved his old music. His old music was
5. His old music was great.
But yeah, I like his new music suits him well, I think. You know, the what would you call them? Like drums and I don't know what makes that sound. Some type of horn makes that sound, but it's good.
Bagpipes or something. I don't know.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
He's a 3.
He's a 3.
Yeah.
But again, another guy. If he has a title, he's a 4.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's very similar to Sheamus.
He's
Music is 5.
Yeah, music's a 5.
Well, I like just the instrumental better, but honestly, the one with the guy singing suits him too. But the instrumental was better.
Yeah.
Shorty G.
3.
Edmonds 2.
Okay. He's
on
so
the rock.
good. He's so good.
He is so good. He just needs something to go his way and to get
be Shorty G.
Constant rub. Yeah, please go back to being Chad Gable. Or was it Chad? Or just Gable. I don't care.
Chad Gable.
Drop the first names like we usually do. Like Alexander Rusev.
He should have been Kurt's son, but that's a whole story for another day.
Tucker.
2.
I also have him as a 2. He could be a 3. If him and Otis win tag team championship,
he could be a 1. He could be a 1.
He could also be a 1 for sure. Yeah, 100%. And the last name that we will lead off with today, Xavier Woods.
I feel bad not so I put the whole New Day in tier 4. Like
I also did too.
I don't want to put him below them.
But I understand what you're saying, where I think like he might be a less than.
If there is a lesser or a weaker link, it's him.
But when they're together, he's great, and they haven't not been together for so long. So
his comedy and the mic is awesome.
I think it's a 4. I honestly think that they've actually fallen off a little bit as a whole without him. I think that they're not whole without him. You know what I mean? Or with him. So I think that when he gets back, it'll add like a nice boost to them. Because you're right, the things that he does with the trombone, and he's just funny. So
what was this? Francesca? What was the name?
Francesca was one of them. Yeah, Francesca 1, Francesca 2. That was great stuff. And yeah, that's gonna do it. We went through like a lot of names today.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I would say that we were pretty much on the same wavelength for most of it. A few things here and there. If we were off, it wasn't extreme, with the exception of the two women.
It was
Nia
Nia
Jax.
and Shayna, right? That was our only big
Yeah,
one.
those were the only big ones. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you think we got someone so wrong or we're so out of the ballpark, please let us know in the comments. If we missed anybody, if we blatantly missed a very prominent person, please let us know in the comments. But that's pretty much going to do it for us here today. We got more stuff coming at you soon. We'll be on the basketball pretty much, hopefully this weekend, and more baseball coming up. So things are kicking off in a few weeks. And of course, we've got the Extreme Rules Horror Show coming up, which we will.
Is that a week from Sunday?
I believe it is a week from Sunday, yes. So hopefully we'll have a preview for that at some point in time next week. But yeah, that's going to do it for us today. If you enjoyed, if you stayed with us this long, be sure to like, subscribe, all the whole nine. And yeah, anything else to say, Mark?
No, I'm good. Thanks for listening.
All right. Thank you, guys.